Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and I'm the founder of Sutai Bu, and welcome to my creative show. You ready to say hi to the whole world? Today is March 27, 2020. It depends which year and what kind of news you're reading. This is the critical time that the whole entire world is facing. It originally started back in December of 2019 and it slowly widespread to the European countries and America, which is where I'm based. I'm based in Los Angeles, California, in United States. So as of today, we have the most cases of the entire world since the outbreak. We just surpassed the number of cases that China had. Our country is facing a serious shortage of medical equipment to support our frontline supporters and patients who really desperately need supplies. When I watch all these news for the past few weeks, it just breaks my heart. I feel so useless that I can't do anything. Knowing that there are a lot of medical folks out there who are fighting for their patients, we feel a need to do something for the medical field. And upcycling our fabric to make masks is a perfect way to make a difference. So today for the mask is very easy, and we're just gonna use an 8.5 by 8.5 inch square to make a mask.
To upcycle our remnants, the cutting process will be slower compared to large production cutting. First, we'll have to inspect and sort out fabric pieces that are big or long enough for the pattern pieces we'll be cutting with. Not to mention, we'll have to pay attention to the grain line as well. As you can see here, I'm cutting piece by piece, which is a very slow process. But know that not everything in production has to be go, go, go. A slower production process often allows us to think and work smarter. The more we practice working with a limitation, the more creative ideas will start to flow. So typically, you would use new fabric and wash it before cutting. But due to the nature of the products we make, we design our product patterns in such a way that we can predict the amount of excess fabric we're generating and have a plan for it in the future. When we have the product shipped to us, we also ask our fabric supplier to ship us the excess fabric. That way we have full control over the remnants instead of letting the factory decide what to do with it afterwards. So today I started working on the mask pattern in the afternoon, and now I'm cutting the pieces of one of our floral patterns from my collection until I run out of available yardage. The cutting process lasts until 1 in the morning, and look who has been keeping me company. Oh, you falling asleep? Are you keeping me company? Oh, hello. Do you want to go upstairs? Huh? Oh. I love you. I love you. So here are the parts you'll need to make this zero waste mask. This is the main pattern I have created, which is available for you to download. You can find the link in the description below. And here's the trim pattern for the ties. You'll see that the pattern is a bit short in length, which is done on purpose. Knowing that most of us will only have access to a typical letter-size printer, I want to make sure all the pattern pieces will be able to fit within the paper size. You'll be using this piece as a guide more than a direct cutting pattern. So be sure to read the instructions on the pattern before you start cutting. Once you have cut out all the needed pieces, next you will want to mark all the folding points on the wrong side of the fabric. You can simply use a pencil or chalk to mark the points. Place the fabric over the pattern and start marking. In our pattern, you'll find an optional filter pocket piece that you can apply. Adding a filter pocket will allow you to place in disposable filters like paper towels or tissues. But keep in mind it will turn the mask into a 2-layer mask instead of one. So be sure the fabric is not too thick if you're going with this option. You'll need 2 pieces of the pattern to create an overlapping opening pocket. If you're going with the filter pocket option, before you start this step of pleating, you'll first need to finish one of the long edges for both of the filter panels. When you're ready, layer all 3 pieces like this. Wrong side of panel A facing up, and wrong sides of the 2 panel C's facing down. To create the overlapping opening, overlap the finished edges of the 2 panel C's in the center by 1 inch. Align all 4 corners. A helpful tool for this step will be a set of pins, which you will use to guide the folds and pins down each of the folds and pleats. The top and bottom of this piece has a double folded edge finish. So to start, point the pins at the marked point as you lift and fold over the fabric. Next, we'll be making 2 outward pleats and 2 downward pleats. We'll be starting from the bottom here, which will be the upward pleats first. For the upward pleats, lift up the point. Use 2 fingers to hold down each side of the pin to pick up your first pleat. Move your pin point to the next point, then fold the pleat over the pin. Be sure the edges are aligned before you pin it down. Repeat one more time. For the downward pleats, you'll start from the top point and go downward. Don't forget to also fold the double folded edge on the top. Continue by repeating the same steps on the other edge. Lastly, we want to make sure the center point of the top and bottom edge is folded. You can start by ironing it down and simply place a pin in the midpoint of the top and bottom edge. For this tutorial, I'll iron the pleats after I stitch the pinned pleats. Next, we'll be stitching down the left and right sides. After that, regular stitch on the top and bottom double folded edges. Now that the pins are out of the way and stitches are down, we can pull across the pleated panel as we iron down the pleats. This step is optional. With the double folded top edge, you can feed in a piece of 7-inch wire to provide structure to the mask. To prevent the wire from poking through the fabric, you'll want to curl in a small loop on each end of the wire. Alright, we're almost done here. Next, you'll be stitching down the trim pieces on the left and right ends of the body. With wrong side facing up, find the center point of the trim, and align it to the center point of the wrong side of the pleated body. Once you have stitched the trim to the body, fold over to the right side. Next, have a few pins handy as you'll want to pin down some folds. You'll be folding the open edge to the center, kissing the stitched edge. Then fold in half. Ta-da! You just created a binding fold. Do the same kind of folds at a few other points on the trim as well. This will help you keep the binding folded nicely as you sew, so that we have a nice clean trim. To finish the ends of the trims, first fold in a 1/4 inch at the end, then do the binding folds. Are you ready to finish the mask? I like to start the stitch on the body section first, as it allows me more grip. Here are 2 pro tips you can follow. Start the stitch on the body section first, and to help straighten and tighten the folded binding, pull a little on the pinned folds as you stitch. The best way to identify the top and bottom of our mask is to look for the logo. We have placed our logo on the bottom of the mask, and so the wire will be on the top side. First, place the wire edge up against your nose bridge, then warp and mold around your nose. Then tie down the top straps first, and then the bottom. If you have a ponytail up, tying the bottom straps above the ponytail can help keep the straps up. So there you have it. It is very important to keep ourselves healthy before we can care for others. If you find this tutorial useful, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments regarding this video, go ahead and leave us a comment below. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell next to it, so when we have a new video up, you'll be the first to know. Alright, stay healthy and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!